So we have our first special guest for this
Cousin
episode. I'm
Drew.
very excited. And here is our cousin Drew. Drew, welcome to the podcast. How you doing
What's
today?
up, boys? Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming on. So Drew, I want to get your thoughts on the first on the UFC 290 card. What do you think of how do you think of that card?
I thought it was a great card, honestly. They did a great job putting together the fights. I got a lot of respect for Val Woodburn for stepping in on a 1 week notice. You know, he was expecting to be on the Ultimate Fighter like 6 months, and now 2 weeks notice he's fighting Bo Nickel, one of the biggest rising stars. A lot of respect to him. And then Moreno and Hooker both fought with just some crazy injuries to their hands and both performed outstanding. And then Volk was just Volk. He walked over Rodriguez, who people thought would finish him. It was just a great card overall. I mean,
So, Drew, who do you think that Volk is going to fight next? Do you think he's going to try to fight Islam next?
I don't know. I think they want to give Charles the Islam fight, and I'd prefer if they give Charles the Islam fight.
I would like that a lot.
Well,
It wouldn't.
I was gonna say I think Charles already said he's not gonna. If Makhachev's fighting in Abu Dhabi, I don't think Charles said he wouldn't be able to fight then, but I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
I
he
was
did
thinking
say that.
Charles.
I would
But
love it.
I would think that Volk would want to get Makhachev or a rematch with Makhachev again for how close it was.
I could see him maybe fighting Topira. He fought Josh Emmett. He won on decision, and he recently declared himself as the greatest featherweight ever, and that he could finish Islam anytime he wants. And this is the guy who has 6 UFC fights. He's 6-0, so he is pretty good. But I wouldn't surprise me if he gets the title shot. So I think it's Topira or Islam, like you said, in October. I think it comes down to how Volk's feeling and if he can get a camp in time.
Drew, do you think that Islam would ever go down to fight Volkanovski?
No, I don't think so. I think that would be too hard of a weight cut. It's so hard to go down compared to going up.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. What would you think about I don't know if it's likely, but possibly, if Sterling, assuming he beats O'Malley, what about Sterling going up a weight class and fighting Volkanovski?
Wait. First off, why do you assume that? Sugashan? Really?
I don't know.
Really?
I thought Cejudo would beat Sterling, and the fact that it was close. I gave it a little bit to Sterling, but I think that I would take Sterling beating O'Malley pretty.
Okay, over Sugashan, all right?
I mean, yeah,
Okay,
but
I want to hear Drew.
Well, I just want to hold.
I do think Alger will get it done.
Yeah.
I see Alger. I think he said he wants to go up and fight Volk. I think he's tired of fighting at that low weight. I think he wants to go for the double belt. I think he deserves it. I'm not a big Aljamain Sterling fan. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but he is very good, and I can see him beating Sugar by taking it to the ground and just letting it go to decision. He's really good at that. I got a lot of respect for him for that.
Well,
so
his
I think
back control is the best.
Oh, it's outstanding.
I mean, he is unbelievable when he takes back control. Aljamain, and I'm a huge Sugar Sean fan. I want him to win. That's why I'm giving biased takes. I'm throwing them out there. But Drew, I do like your perspective on that. But I want to hear your thoughts on UFC 291 because this card looks unbelievable.
It might be the best card of the year. I don't know. It is outstanding. Like, we're seeing Tony Ferguson fight, although I'm not sure how he'll do. Costa's fighting, Pareja's fighting. Poirier Gaethje's going to be a war. It's going to be great. The two guys who have beaten Izzy are fighting each other at light heavyweight, so that'll be interesting. See how that goes.
Yeah.
Just an outstanding card.
I do want to I quickly go back on what I thought was kind of a surprise in the last card. Duplessis beating Whitaker. I want to get your thoughts on were you surprised as well on that fight? I mean, I thought personally Whitaker would annihilate him, so I was a little shocked. So what are your thoughts on that?
I thought it was going to be close. I would have leaned towards Whitaker. I think he is getting old, but he's still an outstanding fighter, and I would have given him the edge. So seeing Duplessis get it done is just crazy. I think he deserves a title shot, and I think they're going to give it to him with all the smack talk that's going on. I think he could beat Izzy if he takes it to the ground, but Izzy's takedown defense is something else.
That is the number one thing in the UFC, though. You have to have a personality. You have to gain a following to be able to get a shot at the title. I mean, Pantoja is not that popular. It took him a while to get that shot. You saw he was driving Ubers before his last fight, when he got paid $53,000 before the title fight. And, I think he will get smoked in the next fight. But, Drew, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Pantoja defending the belt.
I think he can. I think they're gonna give Moreno another shot, but who knows? I think he'll probably get it done. He does, if I'm not mistaken, he trains with Oliveira at Shoot Box. So, he's around outstanding people. I might be mistaken, but I thought he was at Shoot Box with Oliveira. And that's just an outstanding club. They put out outstanding fighters. So I think he can get it done. I'm assuming they'll give Moreno another title shot. But I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, Moreno's last 5 fights have all been title shots. It's something crazy.
Yeah,
Because
that
he was
does
fighting
sound right.
Figueroa.
That does sound right.
I think Pendejo will get it done. Although Moreno did break his hand in the first fight, so there's definitely a world where he wins. It was a close fight and an
Right,
out.
and that's where I'm like, there's no way even if he tries to defend against Moreno, he broke his hand. I mean, Moreno's gonna kill him in the next
Yeah,
fight.
it's definitely toss up. I think Pendejo has a higher ceiling than Moreno right now. I think he has more room to grow than Moreno, so it'll be interesting to see.
All right, that's fair. Jack, you got any other UFC?
Yes, actually, I did have. This is kind of a UFC boxing. I don't know if you probably saw this. Tyson Fury fighting Francis Ngannou. They're gonna be fighting in Saudi Arabia in October. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, who do you? I mean, I think we probably have the same idea of what's gonna happen, but what do you guys think?
I think
Drew, go
Tyson
ahead.
Fury takes it. There is a world where Ngannou wins just because he has that knockout power. He lands a bomb. He lands a bomb. Same thing like when McGregor fought Mayweather. I think we all lean toward Mayweather, but there was always a world where McGregor caught him when it was over. But unless Ngannou lands something crazy, it's just going to be Tyson Fury.
Well, I think the craziest part is that they both agreed to stay in the middle of the ring. So, yeah, they both agreed to stay in the
I didn't know
middle of
that.
the ring. Yeah, that's in the
Okay.
contract. So I think that gives the edge to Fury. Just stand up boxing. I mean, that's his bread and butter. So I do think he ends up beating Ngannou.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I think I'd give the edge to Fury again, but I think the only way I could see Ngannou winning is, like you said, Drew, like if he catches him with a good hit early in the round, like in the early rounds, then he win. But I think if it goes up like longer than maybe 5 rounds, I think Fury takes care of business.
Yeah, I agree. I think 5 rounds is about where he's going to gas out and it's just going to be over.
Totally agree with that.
Drew, last question for you. Who is the GOAT in UFC?
Oh, overall, that's tough. I think there's a lot of names. You make a good argument for John Jones, but he has 6 PED tests failed.
Oh,
You can also make an argument for DJ Demetrius Johnson, who got traded away to 1. He beat Rod Tang over at 1, which is
Aldo?
incredible. But he could have gotten more title defenses probably. But there's also
GSP?
the other guys. GSP's up there, and then I
I was
think
gonna say him.
Anderson Silva are the 4 guys that really stand out to me.
Silva
I
for
think
sure.
Khabib. It's tough. He doesn't have the resume that the other guys do, or the number of fights.
No, I was
Yeah, I
saying
was gonna.
Anderson Silva is in that group for sure.
Oh
I
yeah,
was gonna
without a
say
doubt.
I don't think you
GSP
can
for
do a
sure.
GOAT because there's so many different weight classes. It's hard to decide who's the best in the overall sport. But you can have a GOAT for each individual weight class.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think outside of lightweight, it's pretty clear cut.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That is actually a good point. Like you did, I think Drew actually sent this question. Like, who is the I think the GOAT in lightweight? That's a good question. I mean, you got Khabib, obviously. I mean, I think who else is in that weight class? McGregor, Oliveira. So I mean, that one, like you said, it's not as clear like who I would pick in that. I mean, I guess maybe Khabib, probably, but
For
I mean,
me, it's between Khabib and Oliveira. It depends on what
yeah,
you value more. Do you want the resume or do you want the 0 at the end of Khabib's record? And I think if Oliveira beats Islam, he'll have beaten what 6 top 5 fighters, and I think you just can't argue against that.
That,
But until he
that's what I
does
was,
that, I think you got to give it to Khabib.
that's what I was gonna say. If Oliveira could beats Makachev like in a rematch, then I would give him the edge over Khabib for that. But as of now, I think I would put Khabib on top.
I agree.
All right. Drew, thank you so much for hopping on. We appreciate, you being our first guest. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak on some UFC topics. We appreciate your expertise. We know you've been a fan for a long time, so thank you so much. I'm sure the fans will enjoy hearing a different perspective than us meatheads.
Yeah, boys. Thanks for having me. Best of luck, guys.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Take care.
Thanks for hopping on.